Hey, how you doing? And welcome to another Ozzstar's Today's Fun project. If you're new to my channel, thanks for joining me. Today we've got a tool review. Topdon sent me a scanner and asked if I would do a review on one of their scanners. It's the C-Reader 7001F model, and we'll talk about that. They did not pay me to do this review. They just asked me to do an honest and open tool review about it. So here it is right here. I've already hooked up the wire here for the OBD reader. It's OBD2. This is the right here 7001F model, and it shows you here what it can do. They have different models. The 7001, here's the box right here. They have different models A through F, and basically the different models have different resets. So we can talk about that. The resets, we have the EPB, which is the electronic parking brake reset. So if you have electric emergency brakes, you would need that reset tool when you change out the rear pads. There's electric motors in there, and they have to be reset in order to calibrate. So that's something it does. The BMS is a battery management system reset. So let's say you have a newer Ford truck. What that does is it monitors how much power is in the battery, and when it gets down to a low point, it'll actually disable secondary electronics such as your radio, HVAC, maybe the dome light. So it'll give you enough power to start the vehicle, but these other functions won't work even with the engine running until that battery meets a certain voltage requirement, and it takes like 8 hours or something. So if you don't have time, your battery gets low, or you have to replace it, you can or should be able to reset it with this tool, which will help you out there. SAS is another feature this 7001F has, is steering angle sensor. So let's say on these newer cars with electronic steering, or they don't have a steering column shaft anymore. Without that column there, you just have electric steering. You get an alignment and you've got a thrust angle adjustment, and let's say you do have to adjust it and it's off. Well, after that alignment's done, the steering angle should be reset so the computer knows that you're tracking straight. What else we got there? The DPF. If you have a diesel engine, a diesel particulate filter, you can reset that filter. If you, of course, you can look that up, but you have to run the engine a certain RPM to burn off the particulates. I believe those filters, like for the Volkswagen, are really expensive. Anyway, this can reset that light for you. Then it also does brake bleeding. So through the SR or ABS system, you have the ABS pump, and you can actually command that pump to turn on to bleed the brakes, get the air out if you did any fuel or brake line setup. So anyway, I have the scanner right here. It feels good in hand. It's a good size, a nice portable size. We've got a couple of different buttons here. You got a quick double diagnostic trouble code button. You've got an ER for erasing codes. I believe that's inspection maintenance. That's for your emissions and readiness. And then there's a question mark right there. So let's say you have a trouble code and you're not aware of what it is. You don't have Wi-Fi access. You can go in there, put your code in, and give you some kind of an idea. You've got a cursor up, down, left, right to navigate here. You've got a back button, and then the OK is like an enter button. So what I want to do in this video here is, I don't want to make it too long, but I am going to try it out on a car, one particular car. I'll just pick it random. We'll see how many PIDs it has. We'll see how the data stream flows. And then I'm going to try it out on several different vehicles. And at the end of this video, I'll report back what I find, and we'll go over the pros and cons to it. What I did do was, it came with the manual right here. I want to show you. Just drop the little reader here. We'll go over that. But you go to the website and you can update the software. So there's a little reader in here, like an SD card, but they call it, what is it, an TF card. So it's just a little mini one, little mini SD card. It fits in here, and you can plug this into your USB port on your computer. You can download the updated software. Right in the bottom here is where the USB cable attaches, and it already comes with that little card, that reader in there. What I decided to do was, when I first got it, plug in the USB to the computer after I registered at the website, and I was able to update the software. What happens is, when you plug this in your computer, the USB, this will light up and you can read through there, and it's self-explanatory. So it will power up through your computer. So that's kind of neat. Comes with this nice kit, or not kit, but carrying case here by Launch. You can store all your goodies in there. So that's good. And I think I pretty much covered, you know, what this does. It also reset oil lights if your car happens to have that on the dashboard. On most vehicles, I'm sure it doesn't apply to all vehicles, but I can't tell you, obviously. You know, there's too many makes and models out there. It does have a color stream graph, it claims. So we'll check that out when we get to the car. And you can record data with this. So you can also, you know, you record it, you put it on that card or through your USB, and check that out on your computer if you need to in the future. And you know, you get the free software updates. And I think that's pretty much it for what we need to know. So let's give it an honest review. Like I said, it didn't pay me. And I'm going to go check this out and we'll see what it is. It does sell, I believe, the F model here for about $180. So that's what I saw it online for. So we'll see if it's worth the money. Let's go check it out. 2013 Hyundai Santa Fe with the 3.3 liter 6-cylinder. Let's go inside and take a look at the scan tool. I've already got the car running. It's pretty much warmed up. And I've got it plugged in down there. So let's see what we got. Alright, so the data link's connected. You know, car's running. We got the main screen, diagnose. We can record. We can hit help, which will find our OBD information, and settings. So settings would be like English and then what kind of metric system you're using. So let's just go to diagnose, and we'll go to, we got OBD2, or you can come over here to, now I'm just hitting this clicker here, this arrow key. We go to reset, and here's some of those things. Oop, let me go back. Here's some of those things that we can reset. Bleeding the brakes, pumps the ABS system, the brake reset, you got oil lamp reset, steering angle, DPF, which this car wouldn't have, that's diesel, and then the battery change. So let's back out of that by hitting this back key here. It's this one right here. And let's go into OBD2. I'm clicking OK. Let's wait, it's loading. I'll do it real time so you guys can get a sense of how fast it takes to load up. There we go. So now it's gonna process and try to find which ISO. There it is. Bam, that was pretty quick. So there's the monitor status. Get the mill lights off, check engine lights off, and gives you some information there that you can read. Alright, so let's check the data stream info. I highlighted that, and view all items. Let's do that. Let's go back. So that gives us some information there as far as the control, voltage, module voltage, all that good stuff. How long the engine's been running since the start. That's kind of neat to see all that, the warm-ups, and when the check engine light was last reset. So let's get out of that. Let me click view all items. Select items. Oh, I see. Okay, so we've got two different data streams. So that was the ECU 1. Let's go to ECU 2. Okay, this should be our PIDs here. Let's see. Okay, great. So it's actually in the ECU 2. We've got 44 different PIDs here, so that's a lot to look at. So just, you know, you can read these yourself. You got short-term, long-term, things you need, load value. I'm just scrolling down using this down button. Engine RPM, timing, the IAT. All right, so got oxygen voltage, and it seems like the data stream is flowing pretty fast. So we have 44 of them running, and there doesn't seem to be any delay, or, you know, it's not slow, so that's good. You can see, for instance, bank 1 sensor, 1 oxygen sensor switching, and it's feeding the information pretty well, pretty quick. Let's keep scrolling. So that's good. I'm pleased with the amount of information we got here for diagnostics. Fuel pressure, course, this has direct fuel injection, so it's we've got about 440 pounds of pressure at the injectors, at the fuel rail up there for the injectors. Here's your fuel level for, the gas gauge, saying it's almost 80% full. That's pretty neat. Go down here. Evap system pressure, that's good for diagnostics when you have an issue with that. Here's your catalytic converters. Both banks, they're running a little over 1,000 degrees right now. So you have a temperature sensor. Good info there. Outside temperature. Wow, there's a lot here on this particular model. There's definitely a lot to help you out with. And fuel currently, gas, what else do we have here? That's about it. Accelerator position. So that's pretty good to know. So we've got that. We can go to select items. Let's try that. Let's say we just want to we just want to look at coolant temperature. So what I'm doing is just highlighting it with this, clicking OK, and it puts a little V there. So let's monitor short-term and long-term on bank 1. And let's see if we can find RPM. Here we go. Okay, so we'll highlight that. And then all you do is hit this back button, and it should just show our PIDs that we're looking at. So here they are. So it's exactly what we're looking at. So that's really fast. It definitely loads quick. I'm going to rev the engine. Let's watch the RPMs at the bottom and see how quick it responds. Jumps right up. I mean, it's pretty instantaneous. That's pretty nice. So that's cool. All right, so that's a good feature. View graphic items. Let's see here. Okay, so I guess basically we can graph this stuff. Let's graph the let's do the short-term fuel trim here. Let's do that, and I'll back out. Should load it. Here it is. It's loading. So it's giving you the numerical value, the percentage here, and then actually drawing that on the graph. Now, I guess it's going from 0 to 3.1's max so far. So it's not like the scale is that detailed. I think you're better off just looking at the numbers here. The graph is, it's, I don't know what kind of information you get on that. It's not that detailed. Let me rev the engine, see what happens here. So it's responding quickly. So I don't know, you got a colored graph. If you had several different PIDs here, I mean, I don't know how you'd keep them all on track. They'd be all over the place, but it is what it is. So it's, I guess, it's just another feature to have. So that was interesting between the two ECU modes. And I don't know, let's see what O2 sensor 2 does. Let's go to number 2, bank 1, sensor 1. Let's see. Low sensor voltage, high sensor. Let's go to rich to lean sensor time. Let's see what that is. Okay. So we've got all kinds of information here. I'm just revving it a little bit. Nothing's happening there. Let's see the low sensor voltage, what it does. So it definitely would help you diagnose individual oxygen sensors. That's cool. On this particular model, works well. And go to Evap system test. Let's go to OK, test not supported. Okay, so that was on 1. Let's try ECU 2. Test not supported. Okay, so it doesn't work on this model for that particular test. But you can't expect it to do everything. And by the way, if you don't want to hear that little beep, you can go in and disable it in the settings when you first plug in. I think that about covers it, guys. Let's get out of this. So let's go back. Okay, so you would go to settings. I don't think I showed you this yet. Go to settings. Here you go. You got your language. Has a whole bunch of different languages. The beeper. You can record data. We're not going to do that right now, but it's pretty self-explanatory. You got record mode, so if we want to record this stuff, and there is a, like I said earlier, there is a chip that's in the bottom here, and you can record that data and then look at it on your laptop, I guess, later. Let me show you help. Okay, so here's all your Dtc library. If you have a code, if you know, he'll give you some ideas. You can look at that stuff. You can look online, but it's nice to have with you. Let's say you don't have access to the internet, so it works pretty good. I mean, for this car, no problems. I hope that gave you a quick demonstration here of what this tool can do. It worked really well on that Hyundai. It was 44 PIDs there, and if you notice, the long-term fuel trim was about 19.5, so that thing's running lean. I'm gonna have to find out what's going on. So the check engine light wasn't on. But anyhow, I also used the tool on a 97 F-150. It had about 22, 24 PIDs. It worked really well, even though that's an older vehicle, just about 20 years old. The software still was able to, give me quick data. I got quick data updates, and I think in this price category, that's what you're getting. There are cheaper scanners out there, but they tend to give you the feedback a little bit slower. So the response with this was good. I tried it out on the 16 F-150. It had 36 or 38 PIDs. That was kind of neat. It had a lot of information there. It worked good on that. I did try it out on an 05 Acura MDX, and I had a miscommunication. I could get into where you can reset the codes, but I wasn't able to see the PIDs. Now, some scanners will do that. It depends. I have other software I've hooked to that car, and it's worked fine. So this one, it was not able to read it. I don't know if that's a con, but it's something to know that it may not work or communicate with every vehicle. I'm not sure what was going on there. But anyway, I do like it. It feels good in hand. It was quick. For the price point, I think it does what it should do. Another con I didn't care for was the graphing. You saw that graph there. If you put several PIDs, I don't understand how you'd see it or use that graphing data. It didn't seem to do anything for me anyway. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the review. If you have any questions about it, this tool, hopefully I can help you answer them. I'm new to it, so I'm still learning with it. And I would suggest it if you need it, especially a DIY. There is no bi-directional control. If you don't know what that means, basically you can't turn off and on things. Let's put it as simple as that. So you cannot do that, but it does have a lot of those reset functions for newer vehicles, which could come in very handy. So anyway, that's about it. That's all I got today. Stay tuned for future videos. Don't forget to subscribe. I appreciate you checking this review out with me. And if you have any thoughts on it, let me know down below. Leave me a comment. And I'll see you on the next one. So take it easy.